The social media star Nas Daily, who is known for making one-minute movies every day, has really destroyed himself. He has had some problems and been criticized over the years, which has hurt his image geographically amongst certain communities. And the news editors really like to see all the negatives that can be seen on Nas. If you are wondering what Nas Daily has done to amazingly destroy his image, here you are going to find all the answers. We all know Nas Daily as the guy who creates one-minute videos. You can find him everywhere. Being an Israeli Muslim guy, he claims to honor differences and bring people together around the world. Sounds like a good thing to do, right? Well, not everyone sees him doing the right thing here. Some watchers, activists, and even people in his own community have said that he doesn't care about other cultures. Whatever he is doing is for his own good, and he has some other purposes for being such a goody-good guy. Talking about the things that went against Nas Daily, the first problem is that Nas's quick feel-good style doesn't always work well with the subtleties of the cultures he shows off. People say those one-minute videos often oversimplify or stereotype rich customs, even though they are easy to watch. It's like trying to fit a huge book into a tweet. In short format content, something important always gets lost along the way. Native American traditions are one example. Nas has been criticized for talking about these kinds of things without giving enough background. His videos don't always show how deep and important these practices are. Some critics say they just show interesting things about them, which keeps the bad stereotypes alive. Then there was the big Wang-Od mess in 2021. The tattoo artist Wang-Od, who is 106 years old and from the Philippines, is a living wonder. Nas Academy said they would be teaching a course with her and said she agreed to teach their pious ancestral craft. But Wang-Od's family said, not so fast. They said she didn't fully understand the deal and hadn't given the right permission. In the Philippines, people are Nas in the way he works. A lot of people said Nas used Wang-Od and her culture to make money. Nas Academy denied everything and said they had permission, but the damage was already done. There was a lot of backlash, and many people told Nas to be more careful when dealing with indigenous groups. The main point in all this is, people think that Nas Daily sees cultures more like content than like deeply rooted ways of life. And we all know how much cultures matter to people. We are also part of such people, right? He may really want to share inspiring stories, but many people think he needs to switch from short vibes to a deeper look. After all, if you value diversity, you should bring out everything about the part you are talking about. Nas Daily was like a breath of fresh air when he first came out. His one-minute videos were full of life, emotion, and a real interest in what was going on in the world. People who liked his work loved how personal and approachable it felt. It was just him, his camera, and an inspiring story. Nas was seen as an artist who had a real connection with his fans because he shared important moments from his own life and the lives of others. It was true, it was real, and it was interesting. When a creator gains fame, people start expecting much more out of him. This is where things got trickier for Nas. With time, it seemed like the magic was fading for many of his fans as his stage grew. Nas had changed from an independent, passionate storyteller to someone who was more interested in getting money through brand partnerships, sponsorships, and music videos. The videos that used to be real and personal began to seem less like emotional stories and more like ads that had been carefully put together. Nas's early work, for instance, seemed like a conversation between the viewer and the artist. But as the brand got bigger, the quality of the production got better, and all of a sudden, videos started to have flashy graphics, paid messages, and promotional links. It wasn't really a talk. It felt more like a business deal. And the audience doesn't appreciate the compromise in content quality. No doubt earning money is important, but a creator needs to find a balance there. Nas fans who liked his unique, honest style started to wonder, is he still telling these stories for the right reasons, or is he just trying to make money? Some even said he was telling feel-good stories just to get more people to read them and make more money, not to really make a difference. The main problem is that Nas Daily is meant to be short, interesting, and make you feel good. The short videos are meant to get people's attention and make them feel hopeful or inspired. This style makes the material easier to share, but some people say it loses some of its depth. Some people say that Nas risks oversimplifying the problems of the people he features by reducing important and complicated issues to one-minute videos. It's almost like their problems are seen as content to be consumed instead of real-life problems that need to be understood and dealt with carefully. For example, stories about people who are very poor or who have overcome great hardships. Nas Daily often talks about people who have overcome tough situations, but some critics say he misses an important point: the systemic problems that led to these battles in the first place. Poverty, unfairness, and inequality are not just about how strong people are. They are also strongly linked to bigger, more complicated issues like politics, history, and the economy. Nas Daily might take the attention away from these important issues by only reporting on someone's success or survival. Another thing that makes people wonder is how Nas Daily's videos sometimes show people suffering to motivate others or get more views. Some people who are highlighted feel like their problems are only being used as content and not to make a real difference. Are these people really getting something out of having their stories shared with millions of people? Or are they just part of a plan to go viral? What do you think about it? These complaints show that telling stories is tricky. Sharing powerful and moving stories is one thing, but making sure that the people whose stories are told are treated with respect and that their stories are used in a thoughtful and positive way is quite another. Hey, if you are enjoying the video so far, you can appreciate our efforts by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Let's now look at how Nas' positive attitude works against him. People know Nas Daily for his happy, high-energy vibe that's all about sharing good vibes and motivation. Part of what makes him so famous is that his videos are full of good vibes. Everyone needs a little pick-me-up now and then, right? Because of his positive mood and stories full of hope, he has millions of fans who watch him just to feel good. While he always seems positive, not everyone likes his attitude. Some critics say that his steady focus on staying positive can make it easy to miss the hard, messy truths that lie behind the stories he tells. They even have a word for it: toxic positivity. This means an extreme desire to stay positive, even if it means ignoring or downplaying important problems. Most of the time, when Nas Daily talks about serious issues like poverty, inequality, or environmental disasters, his videos focus on the feel-good parts, like people overcoming obstacles or small wins, instead of going into the deeper, harder-to-solve issues that cause those problems. Some people think this makes things too simple, but others think it makes people feel hopeful. They say it can give people the wrong idea that these big, complicated problems can be fixed with a small action or change when they really need real, large-scale answers. And that is true too. Well, the thing with stories is, not all stories have happy endings. Some people say that Nas Daily may miss the bigger problems or make people feel like their important issues are not being taken seriously if it only reports on the good things that happen. Putting a Band-Aid on a cut that needs a lot more care is like that. Spreading happiness is great, but many people also think it's important to be honest and have depth when talking about tough topics. Some people believe that a more fair approach, one that still gives people hope but also sees the bigger picture, would be better at showing the real truth behind the stories that Nas Daily publishes. Nas Daily makes a video and posted it every day for more than 1,000 days. It's a big reason why he was so successful. It was amazing how hard he worked, and it showed how much he loved telling stories. People from all over the world followed his trip and admired how hard he worked and how much energy he had. But this never-ending work helped him become famous, but it also cost him a lot in the form of stress. In all these videos, Nas Daily also caught controversy when he talked about FTX crypto guy. When they touched upon the topic, they mentioned how governments also gave FTX's founder the money. Different countries too invested in it, and Nas Daily became the target from different groups as they claimed that Nas Daily was manipulating the information. However, if you don't know about FTX and the controversy related to it, you can find a video related to that on our channel. It is highly detailed with all the information that you should know. As someone who has worked too hard for too long, Nas himself said he was tired, which is not a surprise. When you are burned out, your body and mind just give up. Not only Nas felt the effects though, his friends also saw that the videos had changed. At first, his writing felt new and personal, Every day he was reading new and interesting stories. The movies were fun at first, but after a while they started to feel repetitive. It became clear that the movies were following a formula, which made them feel less unique and more like they were going to be the same. It felt like seeing the same thing over and over, but with a new background each time. Besides that, there was the problem of too much publicity. Nas could be found on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and many other sites. He showed up in your feed several times a day. Some people got tired of seeing him all the time, even though it helped him stay known. His upbeat style, which used to be fun, started to feel like too much. People were no longer as excited to see him on their screens because they were getting content fatigue. It can be tricky to get too much light. It's good to be known, but people can get tired of the show if you're always in the center. Then Nas Daily had a rough patch. His material started to feel a little old because he was tired of writing it, and it was getting too much attention. This whole thing shows what a difficult task it is for artists to keep making content, staying in touch with their audience, and also taking care of themselves. Nas's journey has been possible thanks to his ability to find balance. Nas Daily has made a name for himself by telling inspiring stories from all over the world. His goal is easy: to find the good in every place he goes and to inspire the people who watch him. But as with anything that shines too strongly, not everyone agrees with the way he does things. People in the area have had problems with his videos, which are mostly about happy moments and motivational stories. This is especially true when the videos deal with sensitive or controversial themes. Let's look at the United Arab Emirates, UAE. Nas Daily's videos about the country often show off its shiny skyscrapers, cutting-edge technology, and high-class way of life. Some people didn't like these because they thought he was leaving out a bigger, more involved picture. International groups have brought up problems like human rights violations, forced work, and a lack of freedom of speech. Some people thought Nas was only telling one side of the story because his content didn't go into these issues. Some people didn't like it because it was like seeing the glitz and glam without the dirty truth. Then there is the war between Israel and Palestine. Nas Daily, which is run by people with Palestinian roots, has often decided to stay neutral when covering news from this area. Some people think that staying neutral is a diplomatic move, but others say that this doesn't fully deal with the power struggles and past wrongs that are at the heart of the conflict. Some people say he doesn't show how hard things are for Palestinians, while others say he makes the problems Israelis face too easy. Many people wanted Nas to take a stronger stance on these touchy subjects because he stayed in the middle and was criticized by both sides. These cases show what a tough balance Nas Daily has to find. His style is all about sharing inspiration and positivity, but that doesn't always fit with the complicated problems that people in the area are facing. It's hard to be optimistic while also facing the hard facts that need to be spoken. When Nas Daily's fame grew, everyone watched everything he did. A lot of people love his bold energy and big dreams, but some people don't like his sure of himself style. Some people think it's a little weird that he keeps talking about himself and making big claims like changing the world. Nas Daily was also caught up in a controversy when Al Jazeera posted an article claiming Nas Daily used to hire Israeli spies. Yes, you heard that right. There was news that stated that most of the employees who worked in Nas' company were Israeli spies. The article also claimed that Nas Daily was working for the Israeli government. The content that they were posting was biased for Israel, and Nas Daily team was giving the Israel government the information of their users. Well, that is a huge acquisition. However, recently Nas Daily posted a video on his channel by the title, "Why I Ended My Career," in which he and his team told that some people in their company just happened to be from Israel. And it is a rule in Israel that some communities in the state have to serve a certain period in their army.
Okay, so the reason why we fell into this trap is because we hired people who used to be in the Israeli army, because every single Israeli citizen has to go to the army if they're Jewish. And so because of that, this news came out, right?
However, the person who was accused of being a spy was actually a Palestine supporter. The thing is, Nas Daily is all about having big dreams. He talks about having an effect on people all over the world, motivating millions and making things better. Big ideas are fine, But some people think Nas might be exaggerating how important he is. Even though his videos are very famous, some people say that he only does enough to make people aware of problems. They believe he is taking more credit for his work than it is due. Would you really say that a tweet will change the world? You might inspire some people, but will the world really change? However, Nas Daily claims to take risks no matter what comes their way. Do you think they can sustain any further? Do share your views in the comment section below. If you want us to cover any such topic or any business in detail, do share it with us in the comments. We'll definitely try to cover it. If you enjoyed watching the video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you soon in another video.